as Michael Gianfrancaro took over as the starter. Game 6 last year, finished second in the nation in save percentages. We are underway here under the lights Tuesday night. Was held to just 3 goals against Syracuse, 16-3 a loss in the Dome a couple of weeks ago, and then got it going on Saturday, 12-9 loss at home against a pretty good Vermont squad. And they've got some experience on the attack. Kyle Gukwa, James Basile, the grad student transfer, and then Scott O'Connor, the junior, number 22. He had all 3 goals at Syracuse. Here is Basile, the grad transfer from Vermont, so played against his former team and had a nice day with 4 points on Saturday in the first shot. First goal of the day, that is James Basile to give the Jaspers the early 1-0 lead. Tigers turn it over, Manhattan capitalizes.
I think Manhattan does an awesome job of spacing here. They take Pace Billings out to the corner of the box. Strong dodge towards the alley.
Victory, Chad Palumbo, Sean Cameron, Tommy Barnes. 2 top 20 freshmen. Number 0, Colin Burns. Number 2, Nate Kabiri, along with the Tigers' single-season goal record holder from last year, Coulter Mackesy. Palumbo had a hat trick in his first start on Saturday. Shakes the short stick out in front, connects with Colin Burns, and it's a 1-1 game. How about the midfielder Palumbo executing from below goal line extended?
Great take from Palumbo. Tigers are coming out in an open set and giving Palumbo just a ton of space. Works super well with Burns down low. I love the set that they came out with, and I like them getting the ball behind. And Palumbo's been in
bounds of the Tigers, 3 possessions, 2 unforced turnovers.
I know the ball went out of bounds. I still love the spacing there. I think if Mackesy catches that, he can step in for a nice shot. Love to see them continue to just space out the field and use their athleticism to generate some good shots.
Monmouth had trouble clearing. They had 5 failed clears against this tough Princeton ride, but Manhattan able to get it across. 2.5 minutes gone by. Here's a head of steam for the Jaspers. Downhill dodge and a goal by Liam Peabody. First of the season for the sophomore from Westwood, New Jersey, who was on the MAC All-Rookie team last year.
Strong take. If someone's going to challenge you outside of the box, you need to go right at them and show that you can score the ball. And I think Manhattan's
violation. It'll go back to the Tigers. So 4 face-offs, 4 Princeton possessions, but the Tigers down 2-1 early. Tommy Barnes, second-generation Princeton lacrosse, works it near side Kabiri. Back out to the midfield through Sean Cameron, over to Chad Palumbo. Palumbo wraps it around and scores to tie it at 2. He had the assist on the first goal by Burns. He's got a goal here on the heels of that hat trick on Sunday.
Palumbo back at it. What a take. Not much to say other than, I mean, what a strong take. I think they could have given him a little bit more space. Super athletic move, and he just stings the back corner.
Midfield was a spot where it was really tough to get on the field last year for the Tigers. You look at some of the... Nate Kabiri gets a screen, comes topside, he'll tuck it back down. Tigers showing some patience, and now Kabiri draws the pipe, ball loose in front of the crease, and it'll be scooped up by the Jaspers. And they're working through Hapwood, who we talked about. They had Brendan Krebs. He was the starter for 4 years, one of your former PLL teammates. And then last year, Joe Persico, who had never stepped on the field, becomes a USA Lacrosse Magazine honorable mention All-American in his first season as the starter. So now it's Hapwood's turn.
Great ground ball.
Tigers get it back. Sean Cameron in the midfield. Unsettled situation here as Princeton will run the second midfield out of the box.
Gritty pickup in the middle of the field, and I know Coach Madelon before the game said they wanted to win the ground ball battle, and those are the tough ones that you're going to have to get.
Princeton did a good job of that in that 15-5 victory against Monmouth Sunday. Coming out topside, Quinn Kramer over to John Dunphy. Dunphy, the sophomore, New Jersey native, back to Kramer. Out in front, shot, and Kramer scores. Quinn Kramer giving the Tigers the 3-2 lead.
Great back cut by Kramer here. I think it's all set up by their spacing again. Every time that they're getting it through X, they're making the defense turn their heads. And Princeton becoming super, super opportunistic when they get the ball moving.
Field line out there with Kramer. Here's Nate Kabiri, draws the pole. Looking for Kramer, hits the ground. Here's Stanton, his bouncer is wide. Foot race forward, and it stays with Princeton. Kabiri scouting it out, has the short stick matchup. Out in Sheehan, the defensive midfielder. Kabiri somehow finds some space and stings it. 4-2 Tigers.
Great move by Kabiri. Awesome rollback. I thought Kramer actually did a really good job of giving him space so that he could operate against the short stick. Awesome switch, and he was able to nail it at the end. Let's see what the Tigers do.
Princeton 4 goals by 4 different players in the early going. Sean Cameron dodges in. They'll work it through Mackesy, who's camped out on the wing. Here's Kabiri, short stick matchup for the freshman, number 3 recruit in the country according to Inside Lacrosse. Mackesy sticks side high, saved by Connor Hapward. Third save of the night for the senior from Caldwell, New Jersey.
Yeah, great save, way to stand tall.
4 goalies on this Manhattan roster. None of them had played a minute of college lacrosse coming into the season, so a wide open competition. Hapward last year edged out by Joe Persico, who went on to be an All-American, but not by much according to their former head coach John O'Dearna. Would have felt pretty good with either of those guys between the pipes, and Persico had a really nice game here at Sherrod Field a year ago. Tigers, second midfield line. Here's Dunphy. Lucas Stanton. And now Quinn Kramer joining the fray. 3 straight goals by Princeton after a couple of early turnovers. Here's Dunphy, steps into it, the sidewinder. 4 in a row for the Tigers. Dunphy had 5 goals last year as a freshman. That's his first in his sophomore campaign, and it's 5-2 Princeton.
Great job of stepping into the seam. I think the Tigers did a good job of finding the matchup and then attacking each of the seams and then beating the zone with ball movement. Great finish at the end.
John Dunphy out of Ridgewood High School. Thought about it, but instead will pull it out. Here going up against Drew Heiner. They've got a couple of two-way middies, and Heiner's one of their best. Now Mackesy carrying center, getting lashed at by Damian Blando, the junior from Wyckoff. Kramer fires the bouncer, and he scores. Not sure if that was a bouncer by design or not, but either way, it finds its way into the back of the net to make it 6-2 Tigers.
You know, I thought Manhattan was doing a pretty decent job on the zone. They were pressing out and taking away shooting angles. Just a strong take to the middle of the field, and I love the bouncer. I know.
Fumbling shot by Dunphy, but backed up by Burns. Pretty even mix between the first and second midfield lines for Matt Madelon. Here's Burns initiating from X. There's the slide. They can't handle the pass, looking for his high school teammate Kabiri.
Great defense by Manhattan, switching back into a man and challenging people to beat them.
On the offensive side, if they can get to 10 goals every game, they're going to be in a good spot more often than not. 6-2 Tigers. Manhattan hasn't scored since the 12-19 mark in the first quarter. That's when Liam Peabody's first of the season gave them a 2-1 lead. Since then, 5 straight for the Tigers, who have now won 9 out of 10 faceoffs.
I have one here.
Unsettled Gian Furcaro, who last year First 5 games split time, so it was Griffin Rackauer playing the first half, Gian Fricaro playing the second half. Gian Fricaro ended up winning that starting goalie matchup in a very deep goalie room. He finished second in the country in save percentage. Princeton defense just not giving anything up. That was Christian Lyons trying to back down the defense. Manhattan's been patient here today. James Basile, the transfer. Against Kistler, they'll swing it back up to the midfield, and now Gukwa. Gukwa working at the top of the box. Kelly Dupree fires, tough angle, sneaks it past Gian Fricaro, and for the first time in 14 minutes, the Jaspers back on the scoreboard. It's a 6-3 contest. First of the season for the junior from Corning, New York.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong, it's a great take down the alley. Hits it overhand, high to low through the 5-hole. But look, like, I think this is how they can be successful. Drain the clock down to under.
Sean Shelko over to Kelly Dupree. Dupree working against the freshman Cooper Miller. Here's Shelko one-on-one against Joe Jungerkiss. Giving up a lot of space. Jungerkiss shoves him down, causes the turnover, picks up the ground ball, fires to Miller. He's got some wheels. Here's the freshman Cooper Miller, fires it in. Mackesy, a little bit of a changeup, and gets the friendly carom, so the Tigers will settle it in on offense.
Great defense by the Tigers.
Out of the box, stand it downhill dodge, top shelf, and it's 7-3 Princeton. That's a luxury to have 6'4" from the left side running out of the box.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Madelon before the game, he said, I think we want to be a little bit more opportunistic in transition. And it starts with Coulter Mackesy letting the ball fly a little bit, and you gotta love the sprint out of the box. Huge play. You had Burns cutting back door. No one was on him.
That's an easy goal if it gets through. 7 minutes left in a back-and-forth first half. Manhattan had the early 2-1 lead and then a 5-0 run by the Tigers, where the defense held Manhattan off the scoreboard for nearly 15 minutes. 4-goal lead matches the largest of the contest for Matt Madelon's squad. Reese Porteous running with the second midfield. They've got Quinn Bowler out there, so mixing and matching just a bit. Early in the season, I feel like midfield for a lot of teams around the country, a little bit of a moving target. Shot whistled high out of the stick of Drew Heiner. Gukwa on the restart, trying to feed it out in front, finds its way over to Porteous. Through traffic, the dodge has it sticked away, but it finds its way past. Not exactly how the Jaspers drew it up, but they get back on the scoreboard, and it's a 7-4 contest.
Gritty goal in front of the net. I thought this was a really tough take, especially with 10 seconds left in the shot clock, but nice crafty finish at the end.
With the Tigers, Manhattan didn't think so, but Princeton catches a break. Great hustle that time, diving by Damian Blando, number 13, the junior on defense for the Jaspers. Dunphy, goal line extended, comes up, fires, goes low, and scores. Second of the day for John Dunphy, and the Tigers have the 4-goal lead back late in the first half.
A quick move here and just a perfect spot. I think Hapward's been doing a great job of getting some of these balls. Dunphy did a
last minute of play in the period. 1 minute.
Here's Cameron working against Scully. Tries to draw him out over to Tommy Barnes, who motions the defense. Barnes fires, hits Mackesy. Luckily for the Tigers, they're able to scoop it up. Shot clock didn't reset. Here's Coulter Mackesy, screen from Barnes, stays topside. Out in front, Palumbo puts it on the right hand and beats Hapward. 9-4 Tigers.
Yeah, I think it starts with Barnes giving a quality pick at X, and then McAsee just senses it and goes back to his right. Palumbo, again, the best surprise coming out of week 1 and now week 2. Just a nice move, catching with his left and finishing right.
First half, but only took 6 shots, hasn't found the back of the net yet. Andrew McMeekin, the sophomore, 12 of 15 on faceoffs in the opening half. He'll go up against Keith Frazier, the senior from Arizona, who was their primary faceoff man against Vermont over the weekend.
They've got something here.
Yeah, Manhattan's got the faceoff win. They had the shot. It never quite got through. Gian Fercaro a little bit aggressive, but able to recover.
A great ground ball by Basile.
Dangerous man in a dangerous spot. Kyle Gukwa has the Tigers hung up. Broken stick down on the field as well. Here's Quinn Bowler, draws the double. Tigers press him out. Cutter out in front, bouncer by O'Connor, turned aside by Gian Fercaro.
Great save.
Talked about it at halftime. Gian Fercaro not really tested in the first half. 2 saves. They were very nice saves, but wasn't really tested and is up to the challenge that time on one of Manhattan's best scoring opportunities of the night. 5 on the shot clock. Palumbo on the restart, over the top. Kabiri has his shot deflected, and it's scooped up by Hapward.
There's incredible feed through.
He had the second goal to give Manhattan a short-lived 2-1 advantage before that 5-0 Princeton run in the first half. Kyle Gukwa had a quiet first half. No points, just 3 shots for their leading scorer. Jungerkiss causes the turnover, scoops the ground ball, and here he goes. Joseph Jungerkiss gets it right back into the offense. Here's Billings with the pole, turned aside, ball loose, covered up by Hapward. Pace Billings got the Tigers on the scoreboard early on against Monmouth, and then a turnover in transition. Here's Kabiri. Nearly has his head taken off, loses the ball. Dunphy, Stanek, Kramer, that line's been pretty good today. They've all scored. Here's Dunphy, the sophomore, turns the corner and scores the Tigers' 10th goal of the night. Another unassisted goal for John Dunphy. He's got his first career hat trick, and the Tigers have their largest lead of the night at 10-4.
Yeah, the last one was left-handed, and this time he's showing off his versatility going right. Incredible.
Tigers, that's their 11th turnover, a little bit uncharacteristic. Hapward on the clear, turns it over. Kabiri with an easy second goal of the night. It's 11-4 Tigers. Hapward did everything right and then just left the ball behind.
Yep, strong ride from Kabiri. Great ground ball and quick finish. I think Coach Madelon and Coach Mitchell will be super happy about that one.
Might be the easiest goal.
Beat the Tigers with ball movement and cutting. So next time down, I'd just like to see them, I think, get it through X a few times before they start dodging really hard.
It was 2-1 Manhattan early on with 3 minutes gone by. Since then, the Tigers have scored 10 of the last 12. Manhattan just 2 goals in the last 33 minutes. Coulter McAsee draws the defense out. They'll work it through Kabiri. Here's Cameron rolling right. Extra pass. Barnes couldn't get the hands free.
That's a nice job recovering.
Disciplined possession by the Tigers. Over to Burns, the freshman, coming off that 7-point debut on Sunday. Over the top of the defense, Kabiri burns it. Nate Kabiri with a relatively quiet first half, but he's got 2 here in the third quarter to give him a hat trick. 2 games, 2 hat tricks for freshman Nate Kabiri.
Yeah, and these two know each other pretty well coming from high school. Obviously, a great look from Burns. I think this actually gets kick-started from Cameron. Working on the wing, he was able to draw a few slides to get the ball moving.
Time, space, but Gian Vaccaro atones for that mistake with a clean save. When you step on the field down at Maryland. Here's Tommy Barnes. Barnes getting harassed, somehow maintains the handle, fought his way through, passes it off. Mackesy, Kabiri, contact, tries to go low, stopped by Happel.
Yeah, they got one.
Here's Cooper Miller. He's got some wheels, leaves the ball behind though, and Manhattan takes it away. It's about as quickly as you'll see the ball cleared upfield, but Manhattan able to cause the turnover. Scott O'Connor's been quiet today. Number 22 had all 3 of their goals in that loss at Syracuse and then 2 more last weekend. And Manhattan gets back on the board, Reese Porteous.
Feels like Porteous just caught the defense by surprise, including Gian Vaccaro. Great right-to-right move, and he shoots it around his defender. Perfect spot.
Porteous' first goal. Pretty balanced scoring. Princeton with 4 players with multiple goals tonight, led by the hat trick by Nate Kabiri and John Dunphy. Starting attack still on the field for the Tigers. Colin Burns over to Tucker Wade in the midfield through Kabiri at the top of the box. Now Burns scouting it out, comes top side. Gets doubled, puts it on the turf, turns the ball over. Blando fires it upfield. 1 second to go. Manhattan will not get a shot off.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And the Tigers have the 12-5 lead at the end of 3 quarters of play. It was 9-4 Princeton at the half. Started on a 3-0 run, including 2 goals by the freshman Nate Kabiri, 2 career games, 2 career hat tricks for number 2. Ending player and back off to a solid start to his senior season. 5 saves tonight. Shot draws the pipe. Trickles out of bounds. Tigers are there. Coulter Mackesy trying to roll around Blando. Didn't have the angle. And Madelon talked about the maturity of Coulter Mackesy, quarterbacking the offense, and he does just that as he sets up Colin Burns to make it 13-5.
Yeah, Manhattan falls back into a zone a little bit, and I like the space that they gave Mackesy. I think we both kind of been waiting for him the whole game to assert his dominance a bit. Awesome job there by Burns, obviously filling the space there and finishing. But as these, and I think he's still gotten a ton of great looks, and sometimes the ball, just doesn't drop. Would just love to continue to see him shoot it.
Tylers have gone back to Tyler Sandoval on the face-off here. Sandoval coming back after knee surgery. Suffered a season-ending knee injury late March last year against Yale. Finally got back on the field for the final 4 face-offs on Sunday against Monmouth. Sandoval, the senior from Garden City. It'll be interesting to see what Matt Madelon does at the face-off. Andrew McMeekin, second half of his freshman year, took over as the starter with Sandoval out. Here's a shot, in Manhattan back on the scoreboard. That's Christian Lyons, the grad student. First goal of the season for the Syosset, New York native, and it's a 13-6 contest.
Strong, decisive move, and I love the finish. I like the fact that they went a little bit earlier in the shot clock. I know it's against sort of what they've been doing all game, but this is early on, and I think that they got to do this.
That you run out there the first week of the season is never the lineup that you finish the season with. Princeton cycling there as Mackesie's first of the night. (14-6), Tigers on top.
And a really, really strong offensive possession. I think the through pass from Stannett is huge, and then just a nice quick, ultra quick release from Mackesie obviously is super impressive. But I really like the way that Princeton moved the ball on that possession and got the defense turning.
If you ask,
I think Craddock wanted that one.
Ryan Craddock played the final 8 minutes or so against Monmouth, stopped the only shot that he faced.
Nice
Stops
save.
that one. Friendly carom for the Tigers, and then they're able to push it back to the sophomore netminder. Tiger game, and he's had a pretty good start to the season. They're going to be in a lot of games. Manhattan and the MAC picked third. Siena and Marist, the two preseason favorites.
Last minute of play in regulation time, 1 minute.
Tigers go man up for the first time tonight, slinging the ball around with top man up unit back out there. Burns, for good measure, makes it 15-6. Princeton capitalizes on its late first man up opportunity of the game. That's another hat trick for Burns. He's got 5 points in career game number 2.
I think Princeton did a good job of switching sets on this. They beat Manhattan with ball movement. They were able to
field as the Tigers are going to come away with the victory over Manhattan for the second straight season, 15-6. The final score here at Sherrod Fields. Tough with a quick turnaround, but we saw a lot of that depth in the midfield for the Tigers today, and some names that we haven't called a lot over the past couple of seasons. Princeton showing off the depth.
Yeah, I thought Princeton did a really good job. Some bright spots, Dunphy and Colombo, and then the 2 freshmen were sensational today.
Tigers outshoot Manhattan 46-29, and once again 5 fouled clears by the Tigers' opponent. Really nice night in net by Hapward. He finishes with 16 saves, allows 15 goals. Michael Gianfrancaro wasn't tested a ton, but he finishes with 7 saves as we're getting set to catch up with our player of the game, presented by the Ford Motor Company, exclusive automobile of Princeton Athletics. Proud to run with the Tigers. Talking with John Dunphy, the sophomore midfielder from Ridgewood, New Jersey. John, tonight 3 goals, an assist, 4 points. Seemed like you guys had a ton of chemistry out there in the midfield.
Yeah, I feel like we've really come out to work together these last couple of weeks. We've got pretty young midfield, so we're just trying to click together and find new ways to play well together. So it's been super fun. Looking forward to what's to come.
After you guys fall behind 2-1 early, 5-0 run, a big story early in the season was defense. How much does the coaching staff preach defense as you play in that midfield position?
I mean, it starts on the D end. That's where it all comes from. Defense wins championships. So it's really important to us, and that and ground balls is really what we prioritize. So we're looking to build on that throughout the rest of the year.
As you kind of come in here with a sophomore, tough to crack the lineup, especially in midfield last year. But what have you done over the offseason and in preseason to be able to take advantage of the opportunity?
I think it's one thing that our team does really well, just pushing each other off the field. We always get extras and shots after practice. It's something we really harp on all the time. So credit to all my teammates staying out there shooting after practice. And I feel like it's just everyone's goal to get better and ultimately win a national championship. So that's what we're here to do.
Off to a 2-0 start. Congratulations on a nice second game of the season, John.
Thank you so much.
Tigers win it 15-6 here over Manhattan. They expected this to be the home opener, but they start 2-0 here.